But Kenny Ken's going to do the Gyökeres celebration. This is not a fire drill. Arsenal have won the Premier League with they are outside the gala. Super mega Arsenal have won the Premier League. DJB, Kenny Ken, what are you not telling me? We've done it. And we got a Champions League final, but fuck all of that. We've won the league, man.
What can I say? Speechless. Honestly, I've been. Today's been. I spoke to Kenny earlier. Today's been a really surreal day. It's like time stood still.
It's not sunk in yet for me, man.
It's not quite sunk in. Time has stood still. I've not known the time. I've not eaten properly. I don't know. It's just been a surreal day. It's been a crazy day. My phone's been going on and off. I've been, seeing people in work and they've been congratulating me. And the West Ham fans are all round me, all nervous now. They're like they've got a second bite at the cherry as well. So. Oh yes, it was mad. It was mad. I went live last night. That was crazy. That went on for about 4 hours. That was like madness.
As you should, man. We've been through stress. You deserve it. We all deserve it.
Yeah. Listen, listen. I mean, we all know throughout the year and during this manager's tenure, we've been calling things out. But I was listening to Curtis earlier. Big up Curtis, and he's been doing the same. And as I said, you can't regret things because you just want the best for your club. And
I told you, believe in Arteta. The man's a genius, DJ.
You want to believe in your club. You want to say it as it is. You want to keep the standards. You want to keep striving for better things. And I don't want it to end here. I don't want this to sort of go, right, okay, we've done it. We're here now. I want to remain here, and I want more trophies, and I want us to be a dominant force, like you saw the Liverpool when they dominated, Man United when they dominated.
We've never quite done that, so we need to do.
We haven't quite done it. We've always sort of got to where we got to be, and then it's as if like, oh, okay, we've climbed the hill, and then we've fallen back down again. I want us to stay on there for a bit, even if it's for the next sort of 3 to 5 years. Even if next season we go and nick an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup.
I want to retain this Prem. Pep ran away, man. It's our time, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, though. You're right, though.
I don't want there to be a drought now. So we've got to do the right thing. Now we've reached this kind of pinnacle where Arsenal are. We've got to stay there, and we've got to continue to move forward, yeah, I mean, you got to do the right thing. You got to make the right signings. You got to get the right players out the door. As much as it hurts, because you don't want to see players that have won you the league move on. But unfortunately, some big clubs make big decisions.
When you get to the top, you have to kind of be quote unquote harsher in it, because as you said, it's one thing getting to the mountaintop; it's the next thing staying there.
Exactly, and big clubs make big decisions. And we have to make the decisions in the right areas and stuff like that, But I've got to say it, credit to the staff, credit to the players, credit to the fans, credit to the manager. And one person that hasn't been getting a mention very much is Berta. I think he was key.
Shout out, Berta.
When he came to the club, we wouldn't have had Eze, we wouldn't have had the Gyökereses, we wouldn't have had the players that made the difference.
Kenny, are we getting this? We won it.
Not yet.
Oh,
no,
Kenny, man.
No.
Lads, come on.
We wouldn't have had the players at the football club that has made the difference this season. So look, it's a joint effort. It ain't just one individual. And this is what I want to stress. Yeah, the manager's done brilliant, but it's a collective, and the patience. And I've got to say this before Kenny comes in: the fans have been patient. We've shown a lot of patience. We've shown a lot of resilience.
Facts.
We've backed the club. We've backed the manager. We haven't had real strong protests anywhere. We've seen titles slip away where we've come runners up, where it's fallen from our hands. We've seen, cup being knocked out of cup competition.
22 years of hurt, bro.
Yeah, it has, and it has been hurt. So all that's put to bed now. So let's enjoy it, because I'm with Kenny. 22 years is a long time, and things change in that year. My sons were still at school. They didn't really I
was a little kid.
That's it, little kids. They couldn't really understand it. They knew
that
something was going on, but they didn't quite grasp how magical it was. Whereas now I saw the joys on their faces as grown men with their own house and wives and all of that. And we're all going to enjoy it together. So, and all the streams, all the community, what we do and the chat. Yeah, let's just enjoy it, bro. It's a magical moment. It's brilliant. Love it.
Facts. Kenny, talk to us.
Well, first and foremost, I've made so much money in sort of fine collections. The amount of people that been doing the Goycrest celebrations, the amount of money I've made. You know what? I've made so much money out of finding you guys for doing that ridiculous celebration.
Come on, Kenny, man.
My season ticket. I mean, I was on with Lee. And Lee made me a load of money, and Lee and Brandon made me some money with fines. And then I'm going to find me mate Albert. He keeps on doing the celebrations. Sophie's going to have a fine as well. So, you know what? My season ticket, apparently it's 1,161.
Covered it and then some, man. Based on the amount of money you're going to pick up from us doing this.
Well, it's
1,100.
£171. So I was thinking, the amount I made, I'm going to take off the season ticket money for expenses and put another one towards charity. I don't know what charity it is. I don't know, because I could put it towards Spurs, travel for Spurs fans.
Now fuck that, man. Fuck them and their charitable causes.
No.
Bro.
It's a charity, because they've never been to a place like Lincoln City, so I'm going to pay for their coaches to take them to Lincoln City and everything, and maybe directions.
You know what?
Now that's a charity of everything. Because, but on a serious level, I'm on Magic's legs, because I'm telling you now, I didn't think we'll win the title. Oh, even after we beat
April was horrible, lads. Horrible for us.
Even after we beat West Ham, I was thinking we're going to win the league. But I never believed Joey Carragher, Tim Sherwood, whose dad's an Arsenal fan, by the way, and he grew up an Arsenal fan, that we're going to win the league. I didn't want to see it and believe it. But if you talk about the context of the match, because a football match happened and that enabled us to win the title, first and foremost, the title was won at the Emirates Stadium on Monday, when Arteta picked a team that some people didn't like, but we talk about it from a footballing point of view. We talk about first the achievement. The achievement was that team won. It did what it had to do.
It made sure 1-0 poetry.
It made sure it avoided defeat, and it made sure that whatever happened, we weren't going to lose, and we we're going to put ourselves in contention to win the title. And it immediately put the onus on Man City. Kai scored. He played well. I thought Dibbly played really well. But if we were to sort of do a preview for the Champions League final, whether you like it or not, DJB or DG, that lineup has given Mick Arteta food for thought for the Champions League final. You have to say that when you look at the team doesn't necessarily pick itself. In goal, it picks itself. At centre half, it picks itself. Saka and Trossard have to play, but with Havertz's performance, as much as we don't
like
from
Rash, you don't really know what's going on in midfield and forward, really.
Because of Havertz's performance, you don't know whether Victor's going to get a nod on Havertz because of the way he played. He played well. Then you've got to look at the midfield situation as well. Of course, you want Miles to play because Miles passes the ball forward, but you've got Odegaard, Eza, Zubimendi as well, who's really fallen off a wagon.
I told you he's better than Partey, man. We won a league title in his first season. These are the facts.
No, he's not better than Partey. He's different from
He
Partey.
is. He won a league title.
Yeah, but the fact is that if you want me to be churlish, our renaissance.
I told you change our lives.
But our renaissance actually started when he was at the team. I could say that, but we've won a title, so let's be civil.
No, but he's won a title. Just like Odegaard's one of the greatest captains in our club history.
But one
first captain of the Emirates era.
Yeah, but I'm back to my point.
Go on.
Arteta's got selection headaches because of that performance. So you've got to look at it that way. And it's good for him to have a selection headache. It's good that he's not sure where to play Eze, Odegaard, Mendy alongside Rice and Miles Lewis-Kelly. It's nice that he's not so much sure about the left back, whether it's Hincapié or Calafiori. I mean, the guy sent me 2 teams. If you indulge me one minute, I'm going to read it out to you.
Kenny, man. Do you think?
Because Dave, now we won the league, we can talk about the Champions League, but this guy sent me these 2 teams. I'm going to give it. And
I bet I can almost guess it.
Right. The first team, the team that he wants, is a team you want. In goal, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Calafiori, Gabriel, Miles, Rice, Eza, Trossard, Saka, and Gyökeres. So that's the team that he wants.
Changing Hincapié for Calafiori, I'm on that.
Yeah, but kind of that's the team I think that's the team, DJ, you want?
Yeah, I'll go along with that. But I can understand if he picks Havertz though, because he's got to retain possession of the ball.
Exactly. So the team that he thinks is probably going to play is going to be Raya, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Mendy, Rice, and Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and Havertz. Now,
I think you're more likely to see that.
No, we're inviting too much pressure there. I think we're inviting too much pressure.
With the exception of Timber, all those players are now fit for selection. So when you think about that one-off game, because remember it's a one-off game against I think we're the best team in Europe. I think that individually they're better than us. Collectively, they can play 3 different ways, and they could do it as well as us. We can defend a little bit better than them, but they're very good defensively. Midfield, we could do things in midfield, but they're really, really good, and their front 3 is exemplary. So when he gave me those 2 formations, and that's coming on the back of what I was saying about the Burnley game. But remember, the Champions League final is a horses for courses game. But that's for next week's show. If we do one, DJB, and DG, if we do
100%, we'll be here. We have to.
Remember, it's half term and everything. If we do one, this is a sort of criteria I think we're going to go down, and we've got to probably give ourselves a bit more time because it's a one-off game. The Crystal Palace game is now going to be how do I say it? Do you remember when we were kids, DJB? When we did headers and volleys. Remember headers and volleys?
Yeah.
You're too young for it, but if you're from I'm from
too young for headers and volleys.
It was headers and volleys, wasn't it? It was headers and volleys.
Are you talking about the football game with headers and
volleys?
No.
If you lived in the States, do you remember when you lived in the council estate? There's no ball games. So basically, you had to create a situation. Because remember, we're all small. Yeah. So basically what we used to do, you had the back of the flats, and it was a big wall, and that was the goal. So you got a bit of chalk, put the goal in. So that's the goal. And then you had the ball.
So you're talking about with a football headers and volleys. This one.
No. Let me describe the game. So basically, the ball can't touch the ground. So someone's got to cross the ball, and you could either volley it or header it. Exactly. There was no half volleys, and that's how we all learned our technique as footballers. So that's why we call it headers and volleys.
And football tennis, Kenny. We used to play football tennis for hours, mate. Hours.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So what I'm trying to say right now is that the Crystal Palace game is going to be like headers and volleys because in terms of like the game, Crystal Palace have got
both teams got a European final to think about, innit?
Yeah. And sorry, Jack. I know you're watching. I don't support English teams in Europe. I'm sorry, just can't do it.
I want Villa to win tonight.
No, you don't. They're right.
No, I do. Seriously, I want all 3 European trophies.
I don't care about Villa. I'll be real.
I hear what you're saying, but remember,
we got Emery though.
England are playing. This isn't England versus Germany.
No, all 3 English clubs are in the Euros.
No, mate. save your patriotism for the Cricket World Cup or the English or the
Yeah,
football.
do you know what I think that Palace game would be like? I said it yesterday. That Palace game would be like, you know, that situation in the World Cup when both teams from the same group have qualified.
Go on, Germany versus.
And they just pass the ball around and just knock it around, and it's like no one wants.
What about Palace and Liverpool last year?
I just think it'd be like that. Yeah.
Do you remember Palace Liverpool last season?
I hope we rest everyone for that game, man.
Yeah, but guys, don't you remember Palace Liverpool last season when Liverpool won the league, Palace won the FA Cup. A week later, they played at Anfield, and both of them gave each other a guard.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So Palace got a guard of honor. Palace gave Liverpool a guard of honor,
and then they got to give us one.
Yeah. So
it's real for Eze, you know, back to South London, which is ironic for Arsenal, anyways. It's crazy.
And the titles that we presented at Crystal Palace, both sets of fans are going to be singing songs. We're going to be singing champions. Crystal Palace are going to say we're on our way to Leipzig. It's going to be a situation where everyone's going to love each other. They're going to be, they're going to be thinking, right, at least they're not going to take the piss at our ground because they don't need to win at our ground. So they're going to be happy in their own right, and then we're going to be happy in our own right. And you know what South London's like when there's a big community. There's enough people who are Crystal Palace fans, but their dad's Arsenal. They're Crystal Palace fans.
There's a lot of Arsenal fans who got a soft spot for Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So
yeah, there is.
Yeah, like Jack Ramsey's promise. No, I don't.
Kenny's a screw, man. Like, Kenny must
don't like anyone other than Arsenal. Kenny's everyone's a rival. Kenny.
Kenny's Mr. Grinch, man.
Right. Do you remember last week, right, when I was telling all Arsenal fans to grow a pair? The reason why I told you to grow a pair is because you were saying that there's a lot of Arsenal hate. There was a lot of hate alongs. There was hate for the pundit, hate for everything. Now amongst the fans who hated us are the fans that you're going to be cheering on to win the Conference League and the Europa League. Let me tell you something now. If we didn't win this league and we went to Palace, they'll be singing second again.
Yeah. We'd be getting the rest of it. Always the bridesmaid. We know what we'd be getting.
Go to the park. They're saying the same thing. Brentford fans sing it. So let me tell you something now. The majority of fans in this country will think it's absolutely, like I said, leg raising hilarious if we didn't win the league. They would have thought it was hilarious. 4 times failing at the last hurdle. So
I'm so happy we didn't do that.
Just think about that. Obviously, I understand where you're coming from because it is nice if you're proud of the Premier League that a team that's playing your league is the best team in Europe, amongst the best teams in Europe in their competitions. I get that. But let's not forget,
big up Shane.
Football rivalry is what it is. And these guys, just remember, all season we've been to every ground, and every time they sang second again and late. Second again.
Yeah, but that shit helps me, man. I got a soft spot for Palace, man. Palace are cool.
I hear what you're saying.
All right.
When Palace came to the Emirates Stadium for the league championship game, the league game, and the League Cup, they were singing that song, weren't they?
Yeah, but we would do the same thing, like.
Yeah, but we're gonna get it if we fail in Europe. You know what they're gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna try to dampen our parade.
They're gonna go, Champions of Europe. You'll get all that.
If we lose, right? Let me tell you something now. I promise you this: the whole country is going to praying that Arsenal lose against PSG.
Yeah. They don't want us.
But we still got a parade anyway, so it's cool.
Yeah. So why are we supporting Crystal Palace fans, or why are we supporting Aston Villa fans when we know if we get battered by PSG, they're going to think, they might have got the title, but they're still shit in Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're always going to say that. You lot are way older than me, respectfully. You lot know goalposts will change. We win the Champions League, they're going to say, but you've only won one. We've got the one Premier League, they're going to say, but you haven't retained it. And all of these. The goalposts are always going to move. And that's where I agree with Kenny, because I do think you have to kind of shut out the outside noise, because I do, as much as I think people pile onto our club and talk a lot of absolute bullshit, I do think if you're always, I want to call it looking for validation, innit? But if you're always looking for validation or arguing with people, it's going to rob you of joy in it. They don't like us anyways. One thing that I get the hump with is I'm a shithouser. If we lose, give me all the smoke. If I win, I'm going to give you shit. But it's almost like people want to do that and then to our football club, like you said about second again LA, we give it back, and now it's, oh my God, you're unbearable. We can't care. They don't like us anyways. We've never been hated. We've always been hated. Word to George Graham. Let's just get on with it, man. Let's just get on with it. Fuck them. Because I wanted to ask you as well, yeah. Obviously, Pep Guardiola's announced that he's leaving. I want to use the term domination like subjectively, because that's Ferguson or Pep for me. But I do look at City and think they've got a good team. They need a bit of an evolution, but they got a good team. Maresca's a good coach, but I don't know what he's saying. United have got Champions League. Don't know how that plays out. Liverpool haven't got their act together. It feels like while we need to evolve and, as DJB said, bring in 1-2 players and do all of these kind of things, do you not think we're set up to, and I know you're not fortune tellers, but at least for the next 2-3 years, maybe win another Prem, maybe win a Champions League, like really, quote unquote, dominate or dominate a window of opportunity, like in this kind of period? Because I do think that. Because I do think that.
It's a great time. It's a great time to be settled and win a Premier League, because when you look at the transformation City's going to go through, I'm not convinced with Maresca. I'm still surprised about that. I'm not convinced. I think they need someone a little bit more elite than that, to be honest with you. They've got the players in place and they've got the squad, and they'll bring 1 or 2 in, no doubt. But I'm not so sure there. So there's obviously going to be a transition for City. Liverpool now are probably going to be the more dangerous team, I would think. I think, because they've got a solid squad. They'll bring 1 or 2 additions in, and if Slot can if they appoint the right manager, whether they keep Slot or not, they could be a problem. But I just think that if we get our act together and do the right thing,
Chelsea with Alonso as well,
we've got a good opportunity. And what I mean by that is that City's going to go through transformation. Carrick is going to start as manager in the new season, and it's a whole lot different when you come in halfway through. And all your job is to get them high up the league and get them qualifying for Europe. It's completely different starting from a whole new slate. The expectations are different. He's had a shot to nothing, Carrick, and he's done it well. All credit to him. He's done it brilliantly, but he had nothing to lose. Whereas now, when you're going in as the manager at the start of the season and you've signed on the dotted line, the whole narrative changes.
And they've got more games
from there on in. So Man United are going to go through some sort of transition. Chelsea, we know, is an absolute car crash at the moment. Chelsea are all over the place at the moment, but I do think Alonso will get some sort of stability in there.
I rate him,
and I think he'll get the youngsters and the young players that want to play for Chelsea. He'll get them playing. So we have got an opportunity, because we're going in with a manager that's been there long enough. We're going in there with players that have tasted the Premier League now, that have gotten over the line. We've still got a really solid first 11 when they're all fit. So we've got an opportunity. We have got an opportunity to retain the title. We'll definitely be in the equation for next season. However, and I'll say this, there's always a but, as you know. It all depends on how ruthless we are as an Arsenal Football Club, and whether this fan base accepts that, unfortunately, you cannot, and me and Kenny has said this time and time again, you cannot have the falling in love with these players. And
no time for sentiment.
Yeah, there's no times for sentiments. You've got to be ruthless. There's still a lot of players at this football club on a week in, week out basis that have not really shown consistency. We all know the players. I'm not going to go down that route, but you know him, the likes of Martinelli now. He's had ample opportunity, and as much as he's an Arsenal, he's been at the football club a long while and he's done certain things. At the end of the day, he's one of the players that we've got to move on. We've got to get rid of the deadwood. We've got Jesus has got to go. Unfortunately, Norgard.
I told you last week, him and Nelson got to be the first ones.
So yeah, the likes of Norgard, we signed him. I don't know why we signed him, but he hasn't really had the minutes. He hasn't really been trusted. So he's got to move on. And then you've got to start looking at your other assets, because, this is what I'm saying. If we can get good money for certain players and we can bring in quality, and I'm not saying don't get rid of quality. Don't get rid of players if you can't bring in the quality. And what I mean by quality is I don't want no drop-offs. If players come into this team, there can't be a drop-off. And when Saka's injured or Saka's not playing, there's a drop-off because he brings on Noni Madueke. That's a drop-off. Yeah, we can't be in that position. We've got to now. When you go in as Premier League champions and potential European champions, the whole landscape changes. The whole landscape changes. You have now entered the elite kind of. You're amongst the elite.
The only way is down, isn't it? It's either maintain that pinnacle.
You're amongst the elite now. And if you make the wrong decisions and you stick by the players that you've got at the club now and you don't improve, you end up being a Liverpool, a Man United, and you end up sliding back down. Because as much as we're all celebrating now, it can easily go wrong if we don't do the right thing. So
let me cut you, DJB. Yeah, let me ask you this because you're just of what you said. I did a stream with Dan earlier in it, and I don't think you're wrong. I don't think there's a right and wrong. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But what you just said there, Piggy's into what I asked Dan, because Dan looked at Slot in it, like they brought in a bunch of players, and he's not really for bringing in 5-6 names and going out like Liverpool. Is that surely could be a problem if we get rid of 5-6 or so and bring some in? No.
Yeah, I mean, we might not be in a position to do that because financially, I don't think we're in a position to sort of go, right, there's 6 players gone, we're going to get 6 players in. I don't think we're going to do that. I think what he's got to do, he's got to highlight key areas. Now, key areas is like the left-hand side. Let's be honest. Trossard had a great, up until Christmas, he was effective. Then he dropped off. And in the last sort of 3 or 4 games, he's become effective again. Yeah. But he's not been consistent, as Kenny calls him dibbly dobbly for a reason, because you need consistency, you know, and you know when you're in the final third and you're in that key position, you need consistency.
Facts.
So the left hand side needs addressing. I still think we need to sign a right back because we've got Timber who's injury prone. There's no one to come in at right back. Mosquera comes in. He does a job, but he's not a right back. Let's be honest. He's going to be a good player for us in the future, but I don't think he's a right back. So we do need someone right back who's a quality right back. We possibly need someone at the left back position as well.
Thank you, because everyone's telling me I'm mad for saying
no. We still need a left back because what we've done at left back, we've kind of made do. Nkape's come in as a left back. He does a job, but technically he's not the quality left back going forward.
Calafiori going to pick up knocks. We've seen
Calafiori's injury prone. He roams around. He's not disciplined sometimes. Yeah, he's easy to get at. We all know Skelly's not a left back. We've been saying that since day one. So I still think we need 2 fullbacks and the left-sided midfield. I then also think we need an absolute baller in the attacking midfield sense. And I'm talking a lot of Morgan Rogers. I'm talking of although Skelly's done okay, I still think we need another level above Skelly in that midfield.
I know he's not a midfielder, but I want Crypty from Bournemouth, as I said last week.
Yeah, exactly. So if they focus on sort of 2 or 3 areas that are key and get quality in, then you can probably sort of have certain players as squad players to come on and do a job and stuff like that. But your first 11, the key areas have got to be addressed tenfold. So if it means moving 3 or 4 players, but you're getting in good quality good players in those key areas, then I'm all for that. See, I still think we need another striker alongside Gyökeres as an option. You know, I don't think we can rely on one striker going forward. I really don't think so.
But if Kai's not moving on a Merino, I don't think he's sign one.
Yeah. I mean, so that's where I am with it. But it's going to be difficult, but it's doable. And if you're winning trophies and you're turning that corner, signing players is a whole lot easier than if you're not winning trophies. So, you know, and when players are looking at Man City with a new manager, they're looking at Liverpool that are going through transition. They're looking at Chelsea, and Arsenal have just rocked up with hopefully 2 major trophies. If you're a top player, you're going to think, well, hang on a minute, I might want some of that. So it does make it a lot easier going forward. But this is what we have to do, and this is what big clubs do. They move with the times. You can't stand still. You can't just sort of say, right, that's it, job done, and wipe your hands with it. You've got to move forward, and this is where we are.
Facts. Kenny, what are you saying?
I'll put myself in mute.
Oh,
yeah, because I just so I heard everything DJB was saying, and I couldn't agree more with the situation, because you have to look at you got to remember one thing. Our league is so hard to win. It's very rare that a team's retaining the title. Remember, Liverpool won a title spectacularly in 2020, and it was, forget about lockdown nonsense. They won it. It won it probably at Christmas. They weren't the same team. They couldn't retain it, and then they won it in 25. And look what happened the season afterwards. You know, they've been virtually a solid 5th place. So it's not going to be easy to retain it, and we've got to be mindful that yes, Man City are in transition. They haven't got Pep Guardiola. The next manager is not going to command the same respect as Pep,
and he's just not generational. He might be a good coach, Kenny, but he's not Pep.
Yeah, but let's sort of remember one thing. We seem to forget that Man City did win titles and trophies before Pep went there. Remember, they won the title under
Mancini, Pellegrini.
They won the title. Remember, in Pellegrini's first season, they won the title.
Yeah,
thanks. You know, and let's not forget, Man City have still got Haaland there. They still got Shirky is going to be a good player. Doku's still young. He's going to be a good player. Semenyo's only just got there. They still got an expensively assembled team,
but they are losing 1-2 players. Rodri might cut. Bernardo's gone. You're not wrong though.
But Bernardo Silva, he's only 31, but he's not going to take him to the next level. His legs are gone. Footballing wise, he's played too long in this league. Stones has been injury prone. So
another one is gone.
So that's one where they have to look past it. But they've got Gay, who's going to be I think he's going to be one of the best centre halves we've ever had. If he carries on his progress.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what? Kenny, what?
I think Gahey, if he carries on his progress, I think he'll be up there, one of the best we ever had. And the reason why I say that is that I'll explain myself.
I don't know, Kenny.
All you'll see with Gahey, when you see Gahey, you got to remember one thing. It's not now, it's how he developed. The guys, you sort of forget, the guy's come from a Chelsea reserve, went to Crystal Palace.
He's done brilliant in that regards, 100%.
But he's got better. He played in Euro 2024, got better, got his move to Man City, and he hasn't looked out of place.
Are you talking English centre halves or just centre halves in this country?
I think he's going to be remembered as one of our best centre halves if he carries on the way he's going.
Just English centre halves, yeah?
Of course, English centre halves. What do you think? I was talking about the world.
No, ones. I thought you meant like Premier League centre halves. So obviously there's Van Dijk, there's Sol Campbell, there's Tony Adams. I was looking at how you're going.
When you look at Gahey, why not? Why not?
I fuck with Gahey. I like him, but I don't think he'll be with the Rios and all of that.
You never know, because he's good on the ball.
True.
He's good on the ball.
He's all right on the ball, Kenny.
He's all right on the ball. He can get himself forward. He's a good. He can defend. He's strong.
Doesn't do things above his pay grade. I'll give him that.
Doesn't do things above his pay grade. John Terry was a great defender, but if you ask me what was John Terry good at, he didn't look spectacular, but he's a top player. He wasn't as good as Rio on the ball, but he was good on the ball. You Van Dijk. Everyone says he's the greatest defender ever, but let's not forget Van Dijk was at Celtic, then went to Southampton, and then he evolved when he went to a bigger club. So when you look at these players, obviously John Terry's generational, Tony Adams is generational, but sometimes you evolve. And I think if he can't evolve into a top defender at Man City, then he'll never be able to.
He never will, yeah.
He's only been there 6 months, and he hasn't looked out of place in that team.
And big him up for Everton away as well. So I back you. I make you right, Kenny, man.
I know you would be. Yeah,
I think the Gahey signing and the Semenyo signing for Man City is the reasons why they pushed us all the way.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have done it without those two at the club.
No, I think Gahey was a big step up, and he is a very good player, and you know,
100%.
it'd be interesting to see how he performs in the World Cup, because that's the stage for me.
Well, if the Euros are anything to go by, I think he'll have a fantastic tournament, because he was England's best player in the World Cup in the Euros for me. England's best player. Obviously, you know, everyone's going to get applauded, but if you look at England's performances to that final, hand and heart.
Yeah, he done his job. He done his job.
Which player actually stood out for England in terms of the attacking players?
In the World Cup?
No, in the Euros 24. It was a team effort where we had a solid defence.
No, he didn't tackle.
Saka, scored the equaliser against Switzerland. But you think about Kane, Saka, Bellingham, it wasn't like they're consistent throughout the tournament. But Gahey
stood out. Gahey stood out.
Gahey stood out.
He done, yeah. He was one of the. He was.
And but then you look at. I think Chelsea are going to be in transition, but they've got the right manager. But I don't think the chemistry is really right, because whether Chelsea fans like it or not, the Liverpool thing is all they won't be able to get past the Liverpool thing, especially if things don't start to go well for Chelsea.
They need to strip stuff back, man. It reminds me of Arteta in 2019, if I'm honest with Chelsea.
Spurs are nowhere. They're not our rivals on the field. Off the field, they're our rivals. And then you look at the situation with Man United. Man United always have a good season, and then they take 3 steps back. But it doesn't mean Arsenal are going to dominate. They've got an opportunity to dominate. But as DJB says, the right signings and getting the right players at the club. We know our left-hand side, despite the fact Trossard's had a good season, last third of the season.
That level raiser there, man.
He needs to be level. We know Martinelli, he hasn't really scored, for a good few months. No. And he's not really
mad, didn't it?
Arteta has it. If Trossard didn't get a knock against Burnley, Martinelli would have gone 3 games without becoming on the field. So that's another thing we need to look at. Then we've got DJB's not happy with Madueke's back up with Saka. Matt Stanman's not ready, guys. I'm sorry, he's not ready. So
I'm starting him against Palace. I don't expect a 16-year-old to be ready. I'm starting him against Palace. I'll be honest.
You know what I mean? We've got to look at there. Midfield, Zubimendi is flattering to Zazeev.
I'll start him against Crystal Palace.
I think Zubimendi, maybe deserves another season, but I can't get past
his quality, man.
He faded in a way that could have cost us the title. Just be honest.
Badly. And then he did fade badly.
Yeah. And then you've got the right back situation as well, because Timber's got an injury. Benjamin White.
As DJB said, we need to look at that market.
You've got to look at that situation. I'm not convinced that you guys are satisfied with Kepa as a number 2, so you might have to look there. And up top, Victor.
And Kepa's going to cut like Norgard, but they're going to want to go and be first team players somewhere, especially because you're leaving on a high.
And then you've got up top Victor. Not disrespecting Victor, but we do need a bit of variety. We're not sure about whether Kai can give us that, so we're probably going to need another forward. And one thing you haven't factored in, guys, and it's right in front of your nose, but you haven't thought of it. Teams are going to raise their game against us next season. They're playing the champions.
1,000,000%. We should expect that, and we should focus on how we raise our team.
100%.
Teams are going to. Coaches are going to have blueprints how to stop us from playing.
Yeah, but to be fair to the gaffer, he does always evolve in that regard.
We need to look at the captain as well. There's still serious question marks over Odegaard. Exactly. I'm sorry.
Odegaard might be able to move on, but
generational captain. How can we move him on? Delivered our first Emirates era title.
Yeah, name me a bit. Oh no, I ain't going to go down that road.
We're not playing games.
But
the situation is that
you're right.
You've got to be able to get these players out. But the way I look at it right now is that you don't have to look at the situation in Liverpool. If you bring players in, the chemistry has to be right. They've got to be lucky as well. 2 things that got against Liverpool: the chemistry with the players weren't right, and there was injuries. There was injuries to you spend about £100 million on Isak, and he gets injured, then he breaks his leg. That's bad luck. And
Ekitike is basically over now as well.
Ekitike, you want to sort of rotate, has to play every game, and then he breaks down on his Achilles. So, and then you've got the Slot, who, for some reason, decided that playing rock and roll football wasn't the way, and it's cost them. So Mikel's got to get that
but then there's
balance.
a tactics thing, Kenny, man. Like Liverpool are not good at anything. Like for me, Liverpool are not good at anything at this moment in time. They're not. Yeah, this season they're not great, and even last year. But then, they're not great defensively. They're not great going forward. They still ain't signed a six. There's no centre back reinforcements. They made the sexy signings, not the right signings.
I think Salah was key to this season for Liverpool.
Yeah, and Salah's checked out.
I think. Sorry, Kenny, but I think what Liverpool done to Salah, they should have sold him at the start of the season.
But at the time,
it upset a lot of the process there, and this is what I worry about with Arsenal, that we keep players for too long and then it all starts going south.
That's the thing. Mikel's got a circle of trust, but if you look at the Liverpool situation, the answers are right there. You said that Liverpool, can't defend, they can't play midfield, they can't break teams down. The reason why they can't do
that's
all
on slot, because for me, that's coaching.
You know why they're doing it? Because the team don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. They're trying to be what they're not. Wirtz has had a great season, but that's been at expense of the Liverpool style, where they used to hurt teams, play a high tempo.
Wait, you say Wirtz has had a great season or hasn't?
No, he's had a good season because
Wirtz has had a good season, Kenny.
No, you look at stats, man. You need to stop.
I look with my eye, Kenny. Come on, you never gave Ozil that luxury.
Let me finish what I'm trying to say. Wirtz has had an okay season. What I'm trying to say, let me finish. Wirtz, like I said, when I watch Liverpool's performances, he's been good. He hasn't been spectacular. He's been good. Let me finish.
I'm listening, bro.
But the problem is, when you play to Wirtz's tempo, that hurts Liverpool, because Liverpool, when they're slowing the game down, right, that means teams, if Liverpool go up, all teams have to do is press Liverpool and press them out of the game, and they win the game. Look at the Villa game. Did you watch the Villa game? Did you see when Liverpool equalised? All Villa did was up the tempo. Liverpool couldn't cope because they don't know who they are as a team. Now, if Slot kept some of the players that serve Klopp,
love for the super chat, JT,
kept Sarri's style, I think Liverpool would have been all right this season. But because they're trying to play a new way of playing, and then he's getting all these injuries, that happens, and that's what could happen at Arsenal. Teams are going to work us out, which means Arteta has to evolve our style. It couldn't be a situation where
he always has, man. I got no worries with that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but the biggest worry is now we're champions, right? My situation is these guys know how to win, and then because when you win your first title, like Man City, remember when Man City won their first title? They won it in goal difference, so by 2 points, and then when they became established, they became seasoned professionals. That's what we got to become.
Let me ask you that, Kenny, as well, while we're on that, because you that actually segments in, because I think all three of us have said, like, we need to get this first one over the line. You know, under Mikel Arteta, he's been here 6-7 years. We've been in title shouts for 4 years. Obviously, they was carrying the fact that it was 20 plus years. Like, do you feel, like, if we just assume this same season played out next year and we're in the tail end, like, do you think it's obviously helped now in the sense that you've got that one over the line? You know you can do it. There's no, oh my God, we're getting heebie-jeebies, we're getting scared. Has that helped? Will that help us?
It should, because simple reasons that whatever happens, the spine's going to be there because they're at the right age. So Raya, the two defenders, then you've got Saka, you've got Declan Rice. So whatever happens, if the team changes, those 5 players are always going to be that spine. Just like under Pep Guardiola, he had that spine. Yeah. Under Man United over the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, whenever he built his teams,
Everton 85, 86, always had the spine, didn't they? With Peter Reid and all that.
That's why we get the OGs, people, because I wouldn't even know that.
So all you do is you look at that spine, and you remember, I haven't included Odegaard, but I haven't left that Declan Rice. I haven't left that Saliba and Gabriel. I haven't left that the goalkeeper, and I haven't left that Bukayo Saka. Those guys, not only are they spine, they're going to be the leaders of that team. So now they know how to win the title. Whenever there's a situation where players have to come in, players are going to look at these guys and say, yeah, they won a title, so I'm going to go with him. Now you look at Man City going into this, like I said, running. only 2 players have won a title there.
Rodri and Bernardo Silva.
Haaland and Bernardo Silva. But Bernardo Silva,
there might be a couple more, to be fair.
But what's happening? Bernardo Silva's no company, is he? He's no Ferrandini. He's not a leader.
He's also leaving as well, isn't he?
He's leaving.
He's going.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like, a couple of them have checked out. It's like, because that's what I saw against Bournemouth. I saw what I've seen in previous years from Arsenal in City, and that man are looking at other people to kind of lead it. So
right. Another thing as well, Bournemouth were ready for Bournemouth. You know how they beat us at Emirates, where
they're
they played a very high tempo game. They were sound defensively, and most importantly, when they got the ball forward and got where to get body forward. You see how they play against Man City. Man City looked like Bournemouth looked like a yard sharper, didn't they, DJ?
Oh man, honestly, I mean, I've been impressed with Bournemouth and Brentford. Teams like that have been on the front foot. But I think what I've been impressed with Bournemouth is when they've got in attacking situations, they've attacked properly and wisely. They've got it into areas, they've got it into feet, and they've attacked with pace. They've not once tried to put a foot on a ball and try and check back and go sideways. They've always looked forward, whether that's running with the ball, passing the ball, shooting. They've always looked positive in the final third. And I think that's what's frustrated me with Arsenal this season. I said this, we've won the title because we've been defensively solid, which is a rarity. We've won the title because of the likes of Gabriel Saliba.
They say defense wins titles, man.
We haven't.
It wins one title, but it doesn't win. It doesn't create domination.
Yeah, but surely it's going to evolve now.
It doesn't. It gets you a title, but as Kenny said, it don't create domination. Now, if we was to be, when you ask the question, can we go on and dominate? We can, but as Kenny alluded to, you've got to be prepared to change the way you go about things. And
I'll tell you in my opinion, man.
One thing, if we're going to dominate and get on the front foot next season, whether you like it or not, and it's hard to talk about this because we've just won a title and everything's perfect. But if you was to look at it from a football point of view, I'm not picking holes, but if we're gonna dominate, one of the areas we do need to improve is our attacking third, because our attacking third this season has been really, really poor in a lot of areas.
I think the attack is on coaching, man.
It's not been fantastic. So that's what we need to do. We need to look at that. We need to address that, because I was looking at Bournemouth yesterday. I'm looking at the likes of Brentford. I'm looking at the likes of Brighton. I'm looking at all these teams.
And don't set up like that against us, D, man.
And I'm thinking, wow, they're attacking. The way they attack and the way they get into attacking positions is really, really quite frightening. And this is what we need to do. I'm not saying that they're going to overturn us next season, but what I'm saying is, if we can get our final third attacking with our defensive stability and our spine, we will really, really up the ante.
That's why I need Rice in that 6. Have you noticed we look a bit better in the final third with Rice in that 6?
We need a lot of other dimensions to our play, because we will get found out. We will get found out.
You know what it is, DJB? I hear what you're saying, Rice in that 6. But what's happening is that Rice is, how do I say it? He's relieving Zubimendi by playing that 6. But that's only a temporary measure. You know full well last season that he played his best football in a position that wasn't the number 6. And we played a better football. We look like a better attacking outfit.
Yeah, but Kenny, that's why we have to get away from one fixed approach. It's
I know what you're saying. But the thing is that Rice, we've needed Rice in that midfield where we know and we feel
we can't do anything serious without Declan.
But next season, we won't be able to do that, because you've got to remember one thing, and this is so shocking that Arsenal Football Club are involved in this. But how does this sound, DJB and DG?
Let's hear it.
I want you to close your eyes and just think about it. Do me a favour, close your eyes, both of you.
Go on.
Imagine if Arsenal win the Champions League, they also win the World Cup Championships. Now, don't talk. I didn't say talking, I said close your eyes and silence. Just think about it. World Club Championships winners, European Super Cup winners, right? That's a lot of bloody games, and that could affect their season. So
And a World Cup.
And the World Cup. Once again, we got to think we got that injury in the midfield, and making sure that so we've got a bigger squad, but we've got to get players who can actually come and play in that team, because we had a big squad. Right. But let's not forget, Norgard wasn't considered selection worthy. So once again,
you don't rate him.
It's what you rate him. Once again, you've got to think about the bigger picture and think, right now, you've got a squad that got us to this way of doing things. You now have to have a situation. If you want to dominate and you want to play, do well in Europe on a regular basis or be a European power, you do that by winning the Champions League. 2 players for every position, because you can't dominate if you don't have 2 players for every position.
Exactly.
We might get there. We might get 40-50% of the way there this year, and then I think next summer we'll do that, because realistically, Marino's an option in midfield, as is Kai, as is Odegaard. That's Arteta's guys, isn't it? You need to evolve. You don't know me. I've been telling you I want midfielders. I want 2 midfielders if it's up to me.
And you're right.
Sorry, Lewis Kelly staying in midfield.
Yeah, but you're right. But look at it. If you think back to the zeitgeist,
we got rants for the ring.
The Premiership zeitgeist. The Premiership zeitgeist states Man United, when they were dominating, they had 2 players for a position. Remember, they had the front 4 in '99 when they won the treble, and in 2001
when they had Berbatov and this one and that one, they used to have 20 million strikers.
Yeah, when in Ronaldo's last 2 seasons, they had Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez to choose from. So you think about that, and not all of them could play, or they got kind of rotated, except at times. We need, in order for us to dominate, we need
someone that can do 50% of Rice.
We're at that level, because we want to be in a situation.
Both phones are ringing off. Hey, you're not getting close.
Ice cream vans here. Don't you think? Listen,
a podcast. I'll call you back in a minute.
I'll be honest with you though. Don't you think? See, one of the things that I keep hearing is that Max Dowman, he's too young, he's not ready. But I believe quality over just takes over everything, and this kid's got the quality. Don't you think that we should be in a position now where we start sort of like giving Max Dowman more trust?
I think next season you see more of that.
Getting him on the right and maturing him, because games he's going to. The more games he gets, the more mature he's going to get, the more experience he's going to get. And I do think, because again, there's a lot of games towards the end of the season. Since the Everton game, he's hardly played.
Yeah, but why that's the case, though. He's a young G's in and out the side.
Yeah, but the problem is he's got the quality. He's got the quality.
No, I'm with you.
He makes things happen.
More of it.
I've got a question for you both.
Well, what I'm saying is, if we're going to be a dominant force, we may have to, depending on the financial situation, if we can't move players on for etc., we may have to be in a position where we're just going to have to trust like the likes of Max Dowman and try and bring him on and bring him to the best position.
I think we trust him because he put him on.
We need to keep hold of losing.
He's a wild
There's
card.
still a lot of question marks whether Skelly's going to be at Arsenal next season. I'm just going to
I can't. DJB,
no. I'm going to put that.
Cool. Wanyeri, there's question marks. Skelly's cool now.
It's actually you got to think about the bigger picture, because day you look at whenever Arsenal, any team wins the league, all of a sudden they'll bring up a financial expert who hasn't got a clue about football, but he knows about finance, and all he does is I'm not slagging him off.
I like what you're saying, Kenny, because you're going to articulate something I try and say.
Yeah, because all he's going to say is that you tell some geezer with a briefcase, and you say he don't know enough about football, but you bring him to Sky and said, right, well, who's Arsenal? They won a Premier League. All right. Do they get prize money for that? And you'll say to the guy, yeah, you do. Oh, and then Champions League final. How much is the prize money? Oh, brilliant. So he's going to get his calculator out, and he's going to say, right, Arsenal are the richest club this year because they're in this, and that, and they're getting this amount of TV money, right or wrong. But then when you tell him about, PSR, he hasn't heard of PSR. When you tell him about, like a tax bill, I haven't thought about that. So what fans are going to see is that Arsenal got all this money but they're not factoring in the fact that they got to get their wage bill down. You know what I mean?
No, but do you remember last year when I said, last week, Kenny, when I said, yeah, in my opinion, I think we know why Berta came in. Obviously, he's shown he can do business, but we need to get a hold on the wages, innit? Like, we've given a lot of new contracts. Obviously, we brought in a number of new players. We've already committed 40, 50 million for Hincapié. The wage bills, I don't want to say out of control, but it's out of control. Gabriel Jesus Nelson need to be the first out of the door. We've got Fabio Vieira. As DJB said earlier, there's 1-2 man that need to kind of be moved on. There is going to be that case, but then when you get beyond the obvious, so like just saying names, you can make a case of Martinelli, of Trossard, of Benjamin White, of all these guys. When you get away from the typical names, for me, this is why I said to you last week, yeah, what do you lot make of the next 2 years for Odegaard in particular and Kai Havertz? Purely because whatever we have to say about them, they've had good moments, they've had bad moments. They're key members of Mikel Arteta's side. Bearing in mind, they've got 2 years left. And they're big money.
The question is a very important question I've got to ask both of you. And you guys got to be really honest with me. And you need to take off the emotion and the emotion you feel towards Max. And I'm asking you a question because I've had loads of debates and the best debates ever. We had a great debate with Lee Gunner, and you were there, DJ, at the time. And I speak to Dan, and they're very huge. And I speak to my mate John, who are sitting there at the Emirates, and they're very massive advocates, vocal advocates of Max Dowman's talent and the fact that he should be starting games. And my question to you guys is that the players who started games at a top club at that age, they stand out. It's like you forget their age, their like their actual age and their sort of like everyday age. You look at their football age, like a 17-year-old, right? Could like Ray Rooney was 17, but he had the brain of a 25-year-old.
And he had the body of that.
Yeah. Now, the question is, if they don't have that, they have to have a standout ability, right? Yamal had a standout ability at 16.
No, but you're forgetting Yamal's physicality, though.
Again, physicality, but one meaning standout ability is ear, inside ear. Now, question I'll ask you guys, if we take away the physicality, and we remember the examples are using is Owen back in the day, Fowler back in the day, Wayne Rooney, a great example, and Yamal now. Is Max Dowman on that sort of level where up here and here he can play in that first team?
Yeah.
The second question I'm asking you, if the answer is no, is it better if Max goes and learns his trade for a season and comes back to us as a mate?
No, fuck that. I said yes already, but fuck that. Max, some talents don't need to go out on loan. You have to
but you haven't answered the question.
I said yes.
Is Max all right? The third question is, when Arsenal are going through that situation in League Champions where every game's a must-win game, and it's a pressure game, and you know, a manager goes through the seniority route where Manuel deputised his, for Saka. Is Max going to be able to break into that situation and not only push Manuel out of the way? DJB thinks he's going to be piss easy, but
I'm with DJB. I can't lie. I'm with DJB.
Because that's the question.
Mate. I'm sorry.
When I hear about Max Dowman, no one's ever gone up to me and told me that for him to start the game, not that he's on a level up there in terms of like the footballing age. Because the other day, his age is 17, but his footballing age is higher than 17. No one's ever convinced me that Max is good enough at that level of football intellect, which isn't 17, but it's
I see where you're coming from, Kenny.
No, but let me ask you this, Kenny, then. Let me flip that and ask you a question, yeah? Because obviously, Max is going to end up as a 10 or an 8 or whatever. Right now, he's learning his trade on right wing, right? That's not my question. We're just establishing that. When you look at attackers, we all just really care what you lot do in the final third. But for Mikel Arteta, it's what you do going backwards. When you've seen Max Dowman in these little minutes, and not to get at Madueke, I don't want to make this a hate campaign about Madueke, but purely defensively, yeah, there's not, in my opinion, there's no difference. There might be experience difference, but there's no difference. Max has a willingness to track back and understanding. If we're honest with ourselves,
Has he?
Yes, he does. Let's be honest.
Has he?
Switches
What
off.
happened in Sunderland? Why, when we play Sunderland away, where
He's not going to play him in the trenches, man.
Let me finish. We were under. Why, when we play Sunderland away, did he not bring Max Downman on to play on the right hand side?
Because of squad depth, it's different horses for different courses.
No,
but he brought him on at Anfield though. And he brought him on at Everton. What does that mean, Kenny?
Yeah, 1-0. No, we're 1-0 up. Last few minutes, last 30 minutes, we're under Kosh. I'll ask you again because we're talking about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he brought on? Because Sunderland were bombing down and getting bodies forward and trying to hit us down the flanks and doubling up on our wings. And he didn't bring.
How many
Max
times have you seen Ben White and Noni switch off together?
But you're
changing
it,
right. Kenny.
No, I'm not saying the Max Downman industry, right? Or appreciation, or friends of Maxwell, or Maxine, whatever his name is, are trying to convince me that he's generational talent and that he should start games in our team. And I'm saying, convince me, because I don't think the manager's
going. All right, let me ask you, Kenny.
I think so for you.
I think with Max Downman, is you've got to look at their individual strengths. And Kenny, I think with Ethan Wanyeri, one of the managers, where the manager got it wrong with Ethan Wanyeri, he never looked at his individual strength. What you ain't going to get with Ethan Wanyeri is the defensive side. But what you are going to get with Ethan Wanyeri is in the final third, he's going to make things happen. He's going to be dangerous. And unfortunately, we never got the best out of Ethan. So that's why we loaned him out. Now, with Max, you've got to look at him in one thing.
Another man that could have played.
Are you going to use him for defensive qualities, or are you going to use him for his attacking qualities? If you're going to use him for his attacking qualities, then you've got to weigh up who's better. Because when he gets the ball, he's got one thing on mind. How can I get it forward? How can I beat this man? And he draws
and is
fouls.
That not a form of defence as well?
Yeah, he draws fouls. He commits players. He commits defenders, right? So now I'm looking at the options. So Saka is first choice. We all know that. And then I'm looking at Max Downman and Noni Madueke as backup. So I'm thinking to myself, who in the right area at the right time is going to be more effective? Because I've looked at Noni. I've looked at him all season. And all he does is get the ball. You stand him up. You put him in two minds. He's finished. He don't know whether to stick or twist, pass or cross.
Positive versus being productive.
He's got no end product with a ball. Nothing. Every time I look at Max Downman getting the ball, he's direct. He's making things happen. He's committing players. And in my eyes, if it was me, I would be leaning towards I'd be leaning towards Max Downman to try and bring him on as an attacking option rather than Noni, because I think Max Downman is more effective. But I do understand what Kenny's saying.
No, 100. I get where Kenny's coming from.
If you're going to put him in the bracket of Rooney, Owens, and all of them, no, he's not quite there yet. He's not quite there yet. But I always look at this. You know, when you're going for jobs and then you don't get a job, and they say because you're not experienced enough. The only way you're going to get that experience is to get the opportunity to gain that experience.
But will he get at Arsenal though?
I think he will.
I
think Max Downman's Arteta's guy. You know, I actually think he's the one he bets on.
This is where we need to learn. This is where we need to lean towards Arteta and ask the questions on this, because
he needs to throw a hat on him and say, "Yo, you're playing X amount of games."
When Wanyeri burst on the scene and he helped him out when we had injury players and he came up with the goods, he never really developed him from then. You know, we looked at Skelly. He was isolated at left back. He's only just been discovered that he's a midfield player. Not to a lot of us fans, but to him, he's only just discovered him that he's a midfield player. So when you look at Max Downman, he's like, for me, it's got to be right. Where's his strengths? Is his strengths defensively? No. Is his strengths in taking players on, making things happening, creating spaces for other players? Yeah. Now, how long is it before you kind of take that gamble? This is the question. When did we take that gamble on Max Downman and play him more? Or if we're not going to, and this is where I agree with Kenny, if we're not going to do that, and they don't trust him, and he's not, and Mikel thinks that he's not quite ready, then what do we do as a club? Do we just sit him on the bench and he gets little cameos here and there,
Well, he's
or
one of
do
them
we
young
loan
G's
him out?
that you don't
Or do
send
we
them
loan
kind
him
of ones
out?
on loan, man.
Or do we loan him out and let him
Jack went on loan.
develop? And,
Yeah, I know.
and
Jack,
let
I
him
know when Jack went on loan, and that was
develop.
almost the
But
beginning of the end. Foden ain't
for
gone
me-
on loan. Like,
No,
you
Jack
got
came.
to
Jack,
For me,
Jack
there's no
went-
comparison.
Jack
For
was a
me, there's
great
no
player.
comparison. Max
yeah,
down.
no, but
Max
and even
down
that,
is-
Max ain't ready to go on loan because really,
Max
let's be
is
honest,
more.
Max is not gonna play 35, 50 games. He physically can't handle that. More minutes off the bench,
He
occasional
needs
start.
more
That's
minutes.
where I'm with
He needs
DJ
more
P.
minutes. He needs more minutes. And
Mm.
and in
Yeah, that's
certain games when which we've found this season, when it's not happening in the final third, and you need that little bit of spark, you need
Yeah.
that little bit of creativity. Bringing on Noni is not the answer for me. Bringing on Max is, and that's
Max
where I am.
Everton. Nobody can rise up a time where they think Noni's really changed the game in the latter stage
No,
of
no,
the
no, no.
season.
No,
I'll be
no,
fair
no.
to Noni. Manchester City at home, I actually think he played fucking fantastic in that game. Max is more mature than him. Max is better than him. I'd rather Max get the minutes. I'm not gonna just hate on Noni. I don't get, but I get why you was brought in. You are experienced. You all of that kind of stuff. Max is a talent that it's just more minutes. It's 20 minutes here. It's an occasional start here.
I've
Next
got a
season, I think you
question
see a
for
lot
you
more of
guys.
him.
Well, next question. I hear where you're coming from with Noni Madueke.
I'm not trying to piss on Noni, by the way.
Me and DJB have had loads of conversations off air and on air about Noni, and I get it. But when you think about it, as Noni, do you think Noni has contributed something towards the success?
No, obviously he has. Every player has.
And because the other day, Noni's may not be doing the job that we want in terms of like the je ne sais quoi, playing the violin.
Sorry to cut you, Kenny. I'll be real. When Noni started in the initial part, I actually thought he was a breath of fresh air first couple of games of the season, just because you were just doing random stuff. But then I realized it's being busy versus being productive. But I'll cut you, go on, Kenny.
Yeah. But the thing is, right, when you think about like we've won the league. The standout, you obviously DJB standout player is obviously going to be Declan English, and I get that. But for me, without David Raya, we're not winning this league.
Voting for this season, then.
Without David
That's
Raya,
what I wanted to ask you. Who would you lot give player of the season to? But
David Raya, without him, we don't win this league.
I don't want to piss you lot off. Do you know how I'm going to give it to you? I think you have. If I'm honest, I think you have to cut up the award. I think there's not just one player; they've all contributed.
Okay,
I want to give it to Declan Rice. I agree with you, Kenny, in that the keepers don't get enough love in it. Like they don't get enough love. But do you know who I'll give it to? I'll give it to William Saliba because I don't think we gas him enough. If you remember, but if you remember last season, he actually I said to you, I think he's been poor, and he came up by his own standards, and then he came out and said, I haven't been up to par. So then you've come into this season even better. And I think you look around the League Cup final kind of time, I think he's locked in. I'd give it Saliba or Rice, personally.
Listen, I'm a massive, as you know, I'm a massive.
Yeah, deserves it. He's bailed us out.
I think Declan Rice is a player that if he's not in your team, you miss him.
Yeah,
Any player you can probably
Rice
get around. Declan Rice went right back for 20 minutes and we had no midfield the other day. Simple as that.
I think,
however, if I was to pick a player that's it's got to be Gabriel for me because he's put his body on the line.
He deserves it as well.
He's got his head where his head should be. You know, he's been a warrior. He's been an absolute warrior all season. He's been in the mould of like the Tony Adams, that kind of, where he's thrown his body on the line, he's blocked shots.
When you lot are done, let me ask you a lot of questions.
He's celebrated clean sheets. He's pulled the players in. He's grabbed players. He's argued with Rice. He's been a leader. And for me, Gabriel, as much as I'm a massive Rice fan, I thought Rice was exceptional up until January, February, but. Raya takes a lot of the plaudits as well, and I agree with Kenny. Without Raya,
I don't think he gets enough, bro.
Brilliant. But for me, Gabriel has been a colossus. Massive.
You know what? Before you get to that question, right? Do you remember when we all came to blows, mental blows, but we were all arguing amongst ourselves?
I don't want to fight Kenny. That's a losing fight. I'd have to get my friends to rush you. Man.
Do you remember the Carling Cup final? The Carabao Cup final, where I insisted that Kepa had to play because it was a done deal a contractual deal, and everyone was screaming and shouting, and we all came to the blows. We didn't agree on it, but one thing you guys were right about, you were wrong about, in my opinion, that an agreement can't be broken. But you're 100% right about how it turned out, because as much as
I tell you, Kenny, man,
you're right, because he didn't have that presence, did he, in the final? He didn't have that presence.
You played football, Kenny. When the keeper is shaky, attack the opposition goes, you know what, let's have some shots. And I don't want to go over the final, but because I don't think it's just Kepa, but yeah man.
Can I just come back to Noni Madueke? And remember, he's an England international. We paid 52 million for him. I just want to put this out there for people to understand, right? He plays right midfield. He plays in the attacking final third. He's an England international. He wears an England shirt. He could be going to the World Cup, right? He's 25 games, 2 goals, 1 assist.
That's not good enough, I know.
I'm not vexed at Noni. You bought him. 25 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Now you're telling me Max Dowman is going to be worse than that if he gets the game time? I'm sorry, I'm sitting on the fence with this one. I think Noni Madueke, 25. I want him more for my right midfield player than that. I'm not sitting on the fence, TJB. Bukayo Saka, Max Dowman / Wanyeri, Noni, there's games for you.
But Saka's got to, Kenny will agree with me with this. Saka's got to step it up as well next season.
We might show that.
He's got to step it up next season.
Saka's an Arsenal legend now.
We've seen glimpses of him the last couple of games, which is good, and I'm all for it, and I'm gassed about it. But going forwards, even Saka needs to step his game up. That whole final third needs addressing. We cannot have a backup to Saka. 2 goals and 1 assist out of 25 games. I'm sorry.
But let's be honest, lads. We know the right-hand side. We're not signing another right winger. We might get a left winger who's great and could go over there. We know we're better off putting our hopes and our eggs in that talismanic left winger, in it. Like, right wing's done. Like, he's bought on it. It is what it is. Like, that's my thing. I wanted to ask you, look, did you not go to the Emirates yesterday? Before I forget, did you not go to the Emirates yesterday? I was
we were there on Monday.
No, we was doing a mad stream. Kenny came on. He had a little sing-along.
Oh, well, I sang it, Freddie Mercury.
No, Kenny can sing, but he can't do that.
No, we can't.
Kenny needs to find them. Kenny needs to find them.
The only time I do that is when I'm sitting chilling and my hands are just resting.
And I don't see you.
You know what I mean?
I don't see you.
You know, I can't.
You need to smile.
Me and Kenny takes a lot of stick for not doing the clock celebration.
But why don't you not like it? What is wrong with it? Like,
I'm not too funny, right? Have you heard of a pundit called Roy Keane?
Here we go. Yeah.
Don't you think that as much as people say he's controversial for the sake of being controversial, he's actually right?
I've said to you before, I like Roy Keane. He's, you know, them Irish guys. They just say how it is.
Yeah, but the thing about it, what he's trying to say every time is that, you know, it's very kind of. Do you remember John Sitton when he was manager of Orient? You know, obviously we're talking about bringing dinner. One of the things he said, and he said it in a football style way, not quite eloquently as well to put it up, but he said that if you played well one week, you want to keep on playing well every week.
100%.
And what Roy Keane's trying to say is that we'll go and win the title again next season. You know, maintain it standards, because to be a top player, you have to maintain it standards.
No, but like our players clearly want to do that. Like, I don't think Arteta and the players don't want to do that. Don't have the ambition to do that.
You guys were asked me to do the Goikarez celebrations, and I say, Wayne gone here. His work ain't done yet. You know, you've got to remember one thing. The minute you start having an affiliation of certain players, you're not objective about their their performances.
I'm objective all the time about Goikarez.
You are up to an extent, but the thing is with the Goikarez
man said up to an extent.
The Goikarez celebrations is silly, isn't it? It's stupid. I mean, do something better. I mean, he's not even having a boogie or something. Maybe
there's a certain age.
I was about to do it, weren't I? Got you there. You would have followed me.
Kenny,
I love you too, man. You man are grumpy.
Listen, Kenny, where I sit, right?
Got you there.
Kenny, where I sit, how many grown men around you do the clock? It's crazy. How many grown men? Honestly,
well, I'm asking you to do the Goikarez. I'm asking you to do the Kai Havertz. I'd get that one, but like that, I think it's one of the better celebrations. I'm not asking you lot to do an Adam Wharton and do a back.
I'll tell you what,
we won the league, guys.
Did you see Osula when he got the Michael Jackson glove out when he scored?
Oh,
I like that stuff. Only used to dance all the time.
Nah.
Ian Wright is just before my time, like kind of as I was
Ian
getting
Wright.
into football. You lot used to see Ian Wright busting dances all the time.
All right. Lee, all right. Do you remember Lee Sharp when he used to do the celebrations?
Before my time.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, just go on YouTube and get the Lee Sharp celebrations.
Yeah.
That's my homework.
We've had it all, won't we? Look at the Peter Crouch, the robot.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I don't like Peter Crouch, man. I can't lie to you. He did that versus Jamaica when they beat us 5-1. When England beat us 5-1, I'll never forgive him.
No, he's
been
a good.
Listen, I love you bits, DG. You said yes, but I swear to God, I know for a fact that you're going to be in a studio in central London with your England hat on, and you said, you know what I mean?
100%. No. If Jamaica was in the World Cup, it's Jamaica and England. I'm England and Brazil all the way.
That's what I'm saying. He's got
them two on my nations.
DJB's only got one country. I've got both our countries didn't turn up. I mean, Nigeria couldn't come.
England all the way.
We were 90 minutes away. And I want England to win the World Cup, but it's a myth.
Jamaica found a way to lose to a country I've never heard of in my life.
I remember that.
DG, I love you, but can you just explain to me how Jamaica lost to a country that I didn't know existed until
move on.
You know, come back here, mate.
We're sticking to cricket.
Explain.
I remember the Gooner chat, Jimmy Bullard. That was a classic. That was an absolute classic celebration. That was awesome.
Yeah. Jamaica football is not our thing, bro.
For that by his manager,
I remember. We're going to say cricket.
We're not good at it. We love it, but we're not good at it. And it's like a lot of nations. Unfortunately, there's corruption. There's inconsistent call-ups. There's not really a coaching, in my opinion, a proper coaching philosophy. Like you mentioned Nigeria, and your nation, Kenny. I actually use Nigeria as a I don't know the word, but like as an example, because you lot were able to say, look, man, Iwobi, this one, that one.
Yeah,
we ain't got that, bro.
It's still corrupting.
Do you know how hard we had to fail to not qualify for this World Cup? We were actually like FIFA bust us. And then we still took it to the playoffs, and we did all right. Like, ironically, when we played Congo, that was actually one of our better games.
For Nigeria, I think there's a chemistry problem in terms of the players. Another thing as well is that, and I say it respectfully, right? Nigeria are getting players to play for the Nigeria, especially the English players, because they are English, because they can't play for England.
No, but that's the thing with everyone. That's Nigeria. That's not, but no, I do think you're wrong with that, because I do think
Nigeria got a great, excellent talent. You know, they got talent.
No, to get man say, yo, I just want to play for Nigeria, not England.
But you're
right in that. That is the case.
But John Moby Mikel is right when he says that when he goes to these players, initially they're going to want to play for him because they've been in the English system, and rightly so. That's their decision. Not doing John.
Not even that. Jamaican FA are not. Certain players have turned up to airports. The Jamaican FA hasn't got you a ticket to get on a fucking plane to go on international duty. This is different stuff.
Yeah, but Nigeria, the players ain't getting played. But what I'm trying to say is that Nigeria, John Mikel, he's Nigerian through and through, and I've got a respect for that. But when you talk about players like Eza, Saka, Madueke, they've been in the English system, and they've made Wanyeri, and they've turned into full internationals. They want to play the European Championships. They want to get to the World Cup semi-finals, and they want to play that. And they played in the English system. So Johnny Mikel can't have a go at them for wanting to play for England.
And but he's be honest, they're seen as English to the Nigerians or Jamaicans.
But he's right to say that if these guys are knocking on the door for England, they don't get a cap for England, and all of a sudden when they're 29, they want to play for Nigeria. He's right. Why didn't you?
You shouldn't be allowed to play. Shouldn't be allowed to play.
Why are you declaring for Nigeria now?
You shouldn't want to play. Yeah. Sloppy second.
I look at the Nigerian players who play, and I've got a lot of time for them, but they're not on the level, right, of Eza, Saka, and Noni, despite what you said about Noni. You know what I mean? I could say for a player like Gahey.
And getting Nketiah for Ghana 100% enough.
Nketiah, you know, Gahey, obviously, his origin, I think, is it Cote d'Ivoire or Senegal? I don't know. It's Cote d'Ivoire.
We've had
I
it,
don't know.
but we've had
Yeah.
it all the time. I mean, you get it with
You know what I
England. You get it with like England. I mean, look at Declan Rice. I mean, he's
And Grealish, yeah.
isn't it?
The minute England said come play for us, you're involved.
You know,
No, but they played for Ireland
that's-
before.
Yeah. Jack Grealish, another one, isn't he? Where he's Ireland, he's played for Ireland and come for England. But listen, you just get behind England, man. Just get behind England. Come on.
Well, like, it's England and Brazil.
100%.
England, I told you already, DJB,
100%.
we are going to disappoint at the World Cup. So I'm just going to put my eggs in the Brazil basket. I have no optimism for this World Cup for England. I think we're going to do shit stuff. I hope I'm wrong.
Why?
Because we're due a shit performance. Honestly, to God, we're due a shit one. What? Two Euros finals, right? And a quarter semis, I can't remember, in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, Tuchel ain't been to any international tournament. And let me
I
just
think,
ask you this.
I think the climate's going to make a big difference in this. World
Another
Cup.
reason, exactly.
Did it make a difference to
Another
Germany
reason.
8 years ago? With Germany about 12 years ago, it didn't make a difference to Germany. If you
But we're England,
you
bro.
got
We're
the right
English, bro.
sports
Like,
science,
that don't matter.
you
Like, we're
makes a
English.
difference.
Listen, if you look
Go on.
at England, though, let's look at England as a football team. Without Harry Kane, that's it, isn't it? Look who we got. Who we got? Seriously.
I hope Saka does the business as he always does, but he's going into it with shit
He's had
form.
he's come good the last part of the season.
But England are a tournament team. They're a tournament team. I think.
Okay, no, but let me ask you lot this. After DJB says what you want to say, I just want to ask you lot this about England, because now you understand my optimism or lack of it. But go on, DJB. I just want to ask you.
You got Jude Bellingham that's been in and out, which I think he's one of the most overrated midfield players anyway.
DJB, don't start this.
No, it's his opinion, mate.
No.
I know, but
Listen. But Jude's had a lot of problems injury-wise, so he hasn't really kind of hit any real long-term form. And then you look at our defence. It's what's he going to go with? Luke Shaw, left back. We haven't got a world.
Sorry to cut you, DJB, but that is what I was going to ask you lot. Who is the left back? What centre half partnerships is going to be?
This is what I'm saying.
Half partnership do you rate?
He's going to have to go with Harry Maguire, isn't he? Because
exactly, I rate Maguire and Pickford, but we're still saying that.
Are they good? They're not good enough. They're not good enough. This is what I'm saying.
I like Konza, but allow it, Kenny, man. Like, man,
if you look at individuals,
and partnerships, I'm looking at relationships.
It's a bang average team. It's a bang average team.
Are
you replacing Harry Maguire with Saliba or Gabriel? No. So as he good, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
he's
I hate to say
for England. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's like,
you've got a good point. Both of you got good points. But let me say something now. It's not the World Cup, and when you look at the World Cup and the Euros, yes, you should have the individuals, and yes, you should have a situation where it's got to be quality. It's quality individuals, but some teams are tournament teams.
Remember, we've never done the Italy thing where we just stink up the plate and get it over the line. We're not them guys.
Look at Germany. You look at Germany over the years; they're a tournament teams. But can you tell me how many of those players would have got into a world 11? But it's tournament foot. It's a tournament.
Ozil, Muller, Kroos.
No,
man, closer.
Right, man. All right. In 1990, when you look at Germany, when they won the World Cup in 1996, over the years, Germany have always been consistent at tournaments because they're a tournament team. Under Gareth Southgate,
sorry to cut you, but
they've always had a collective Germany, haven't they?
We don't have an ethos in this country. What is our ethos?
Let me finish that. You say that, but a lot of these lads have won. The youngsters have won the Euro. No, you don't listen, DG. Let me finish.
I know what you're going to say, but no, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Let me say something now. 2018 semi-final of the World Cup, 2020 final, 2022 quarter-final, 2024 final. Now, you look at the team and you look at the performances, because obviously we weren't doing shows together before. I didn't know at the time, DJB, but if you think about the games that England had in that group stage 2 years ago, we were pissed off with them against Denmark. We were pissed off when they played Serbia. We weren't particularly impressed in their first game.
No, sure.
They scraped through against Slovenia. Is it Slovenia or Slovenia?
One of them kind of countries.
Yeah.
In
a
one of them, respectfully, one of them kind of, yeah.
Quarters, they had to beat Switzerland on penalties. Holland was a bit better. They needed a last-minute goal. But what's happened as a team when you play tournament football, I see many teams that look brilliant. Remember back in the day when Brazil used to win their first 3 games, and then when it came to the knockouts, they'll get to a quarter final.
Yeah, but Kenny, maybe not so much now. When you think Brazil, what do you think? Samba, all of that. You think Spain, tiki-taka. You think Germany, machine.
Like that,
what do you think with England? What are we? Because at this moment, there isn't actually a nation that is doing amazing for us to copy. What do you think?
France are a great
France
side.
are just on steroids. They just got
if you touch in the Euros in 2020, they only got to the last 16.
Yeah, they
the only thing is with Tukes. We got Tommy Tukes, who is a winner, and at the end of the day,
but DJB, he's never touched a tournament with England, bro.
I see where you're saying. Listen. I'm a little bit nervous going into this World Cup with England, because
don't be nervous. It's a short stay, my guy.
It is. I'm looking defensively. Yeah, but I know what Kenny's saying. As a team, we've got to collect. It's about having the collective and the team and the unit to both play.
When DJB finishes, let me just ask you a question.
Go on. No, go on, DG.
All right. Obviously, you've got Luke Shaw left back here. This is one of my first questions. You've got Luke Shaw left back here. Whether you lot rate him or not, I don't know if you lot would take him on the plane, but you got Luke Shaw, you got O'Reilly, you got MLS who could play there, you got Lewis Hall. You lot have been in the game longer than me. I rate you lot's opinions. You understand football. So it's not just about ability. International football is a different dynamic. Who's the left back? Just any name will do.
O'Reilly.
Okay, cool. O'Reilly. He's young, wet between the ears, never jumped in the deep end of the swimming pool, right? Who's the centre half partnerships?
All right. It's Gay and someone else, isn't it?
You're not taking too long to let me know, so you don't wait.
It's got to be Gahey first on the. He ain't going to be John Stones. He ain't played enough games.
So Gahey's one. Who's the next guy?
I think it's going to have to be Harry Maguire, because to be honest, he hasn't had a bad season for Man United. As much as we don't want him,
but has Konsa had a bad season for Aston Villa?
No. That's not even my question. You lot can have that. You can have Konsa. Maguire.
I'm going with Konsa.
You can have that.
All right. Well, I think Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire will get the nod for 2 reasons. I think he's been pivotal where Man United are now, and I think his experience with England over the years gone by will get him the nod amongst Konsa. But that's my opinion. I'm going to go O'Reilly, Gahey, Maguire.
So do you not believe do you believe in that centre half partnership? And bearing in mind, again, not ability, we're thinking about the tournament, do you not really believe in that left back? Nothing to do with ability.
No.
So this is what I'm saying. No. So then also I want to throw another spanner in the works, Bearing in mind, we know it's a tournament. So you've got X amount of group stage games and you're going all the way. Because I think everyone would have Reece James right back, right? We know he's not playing every group stage game. So as we go on and the games, and as you said earlier, Kenny, with the Club World Cup, the Chelsea boys played in that. Everyone's had a mad thing where club football's concerned. You want to tell it, and like what DJB said, the weather, all of this stuff, you think we're doing anything serious? Genuinely think we're doing anything serious? Throw in Tuchel's first tournament. I hope I'm wrong,
I don't.
Really?
No, I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah, but that's dead though, man. Southgate got to finals. I want to win something.
I don't see why not. All right. You look when you look on paper and you look at the options France have got, there's no doubt you can't look past that. Argentina, because they're the holders, of course you're going to have to look at them seriously. But apart from that, it's only really Spain, isn't there?
Spain.
I think this World Cup's going to be shit, bro. I'll be so honest. I think the quality is going to be dead.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised, because what one thing's guaranteed. One thing's guaranteed is it's too long of a tournament. There's too many teams, and I do think you are going to suffer from like a football withdrawal systems. But the situation is that Brazil are not what they are.
No, they're
far from it.
Argentina are playing on passion, and they tactically they're very good, but they're not great. France have got a wealth of talent.
Holland,
and it's gel.
No, Holland's not serious.
I think England's biggest worry is Spain. Personally,
I'm not gonna lie. Based on what you said, Kenny, it's making me think. You know what? As much as I'm pessimistic about England, the other teams aren't really. We might be able to go a bit far. I'll admit that. I'll admit that.
Spain. I think Spain are the ones to beat. Personally,
Yeah, facts. But like DJB said, bearing in mind the weather and all that kind of jazz, yeah. If we're, I don't know where like the knockout stages are played, but if we're playing in the hottest part, whether that be Mexico or the hottest part of America, let's just say Texas.
Humidity's massive.
You got
Humidity.
Spain versus us, bro.
Canada's going to be hot as well.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so on top of everything we've talked about, the weather, you got Spain, you got tropicalness, you got England, really, lads, really.
How about teams like Mexico and stuff like that?
But this DJB, this is what I'm saying. These are the teams that's scaring me. You lot said the Frances and Spains. I'm not even thinking about them. That is a different kettle of fish. Are we going to get through the little man teams?
You are right. You are right. But then again, you've got to remember, it's not like it was in the 80s and the 90s where it was a given that South American teams can't win in Europe because they're not used to the kind of climate and like the kind of weather. And European teams can't win in South America or the Americas or other places because Germany won the World Cup in Brazil, where you had the time difference, you had the humidity.
Facts.
There wasn't so much the altitude. I know in America, in certain parts of America, which is near Mexico,
certain parts of Mexico, we do that. We're fucked, lads. You don't know that, innit? We're fucked if we play in certain places.
I do understand it, but what's happening right now is that we've got the information amongst us. When Germany won the World Cup in 2014, they didn't just bring like coaches and and physios. They brought experts. They brought like I said, they brought sports scientists.
I'll be real, I didn't know that.
They brought nutritionists and everything, and they brought experts who are able to, help the players acclimatise. They went there at the right times. That's what England are going to do. The situation is that teams are well equipped. Federations like the FA have money to get the best people, the best experts to get these players in the right condition to play football. It wasn't like that 20 or 30 years ago. That's why you can't write off the European teams. You can probably say to England, yeah, they've had a really hard season. The way they play, is really hard. You got a situation that whenever England go into World Cups, particularly, players are carrying injuries, and that's probably what's getting them. But I'm just saying.
This is what I'm saying.
The mentality of England players, though, because when you look at Spain and Argentina and all these nations, playing in the World Cup is everything to them. Winning the World Cup is more important than anything in whatever they play. That is their real
Them
goal.
Argentinian man didn't give a fuck about what Messi did for Barcelona, like he won the World Cup.
I'm not sure, and I might be wrong. I might be wrong here because I'm not in the camp with the England players. But from what I've gathered over the years of watching football, I just don't think England players are as passionate about playing for their country as a lot of these other nations.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Declan Rice, he's had a long season. He's played hundreds of games for West Ham. He's played hundreds of games for Arsenal. He's got his Premier League under his belt. If he goes and wins the Champs as well, he's got that under his belt. Is he really going to be playing for England? I just got this. I just got this feeling about the mentality of English players.
Let's flip the coin. Let's flip the coin. All right, you flip the coin and land it on heads. Now let's see if the coin lands on tails. And if it lands on tails, we could say Declan Rice playing 2 European Championship finals for his country, and he's a runner-up. He's got silver medals. He's played in major finals. He got to a World Cup quarter final. He was a Republic of Ireland international. In around 2018, he switched nationalities, which is his right. Just right for that. Declan, right, sings the national anthem of pride. He's going to want to go one better because we always assume because of club rivalry is such a fervour in this country that players care more about their clubs and than the country because of the situation where the criticism and everything. And we understand that. We assume that. But a team that wasn't playing that great got to a European Championship final in a tournament which included the host Germany, France, Portugal, and they only lost to Spain in the last minutes. And my situation is Declan's going to want to go better. Saka was one that got got blamed
Because he's
alongside.
tasted that they've tasted that final. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So you can say that, and then Jordan Pickford, he's played he's played in the World Cup semi-final quarter.
We've got a lot of experience going into this World Cup.
You've got
a lot of players that have played at a high level at England.
And Maguire's now fit, and he's playing regularly for Man United, so he's probably going to be there. Gay played in the final. So when you think about it, I understand where you're coming from, but it's the fans, right? We're Arsenal fans. We're used to big game, but if you go and watch England, most of the people go and watch England happen to be fans of Halifax, Plymouth, all those South End, because
Stockport,
watching England's is their Champions League final and FA Cup final. Yeah. But what's happening is that these guys are passionate with England because they're going to want to play for England because they played in European Championship finals. As kids, they've won European Championships under 21s, and as kids, they've won world tournaments. They're used to winning with England.
Yeah, I suppose because they've tasted a final, certain players are going to want to go one better, and I get that. But I don't know. I'm a little bit with DG on this one.
I'm with you, DJB. I'm not thinking anything of this.
I'm worried about this World Cup with England. This is the first World Cup.
I hope I'm wrong,
I don't think we'll get embarrassed, but I don't think we're going to pull up many trees, to be honest.
Exactly. If I'm honest, with the expanded World Cup, I don't know how many group stages you play, but I think win, lose, draw in the group.
I got one question, because I think DJ, but you said you wanted to finish at 6, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, I've got to finish soon. I know.
I always tell DJ, tell me when you need to lock it off.
I'll lock off in a minute.
One question I need to ask you.
You make me feel so guilty, man.
Yeah, but one question I need to ask you. It's very important. It's very poignant. Tuchel has signed an extended contract.
Yeah.
And the question I ask you is, are England, if they're not ready for this World Cup, are they going to be ready for the tournament they're hosting in 2 years' time? Do you think that we as England fans should be building towards 2028 when we?
Yeah, that's why you got to get back down with more game time and players like this.
Because we have to win it in 28, haven't we? We have to.
We've got to win it in 28. And we're not going to have Harry Kane in 28.
Euros. Until you said what you said last, I thought, to answer the question you're asking me, it's with the Euros in mind, innit? So, it's bring the Euros home, innit?
But we need, but you got to remember, we probably won't have Harry Kane in the Euros.
How old is he now? 31, 32?
30. He's going to be 35 when the tournament's going to start. He's 33 now.
So he's going to be. He's going to be talented. He's going to be. Listen, that's the biggest. That's the biggest problem I've got. You take Harry Kane out of this team, you're scratching. Which young strikers out there who's English who's going to emulate Harry Kane's record?
I can't answer that for you, but I can't answer that because what you said, young. Kane weren't this guy when he was young. It's when he kind of got on a bit. There's no one, Kenny.
I can't see him.
We have to hope someone pops up. I don't know.
I'm racking my brains. I can't.
All right.
There's nobody.
You stick with Harry Kane because Harry Kane's not playing in the Premiership, so he's playing in a slower league.
Yeah, but by then he'll probably be back in the Prem, man. Do we really think by the next Euros he'll still be at Bayern? I could be wrong, but really? We've seen this story. You lot have seen football longer than me. You know he's going back to
It'd be a fault to come back to this league with the intensity and the demands of off the ball.
But you're forgetting family life and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, I understand that, but
season-long loan somewhere, just a season, just for one season.
I've seen Ronaldo and Bale return to Spurs and United, respectively. I've seen too much.
Here's a question, right? Here's a question for you two before I get out of here, right? Lewandowski's a free agent at the end of the season. Would you take him on a one season at Arsenal?
No, because I saw it happen when we got Podolski here, and Podolski could barely put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, but we're talking Lewandowski. We're not talking Podolski.
Lewandowski's levels, but as I said, Lewandowski will get a complete culture shock with the amount of games we play and the intensity.
But cheeky little off the bench bagging kind of thing.
I'll take Lewandowski on a year, on 1 year, just 1 year, just
I wouldn't be against it.
Lewandowski, right? And then if Lewandowski wanted to play in English, should have come in his 20s, not now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm taking him on a year, definitely.
Yeah, but you're not taking them. You're not taking the play. Are you taking the player with reputation?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that you're not going to play throughout the season too much, but we might just take you off the bench. You might bag us a goal.
I might gamble on the reputation.
You were Davisuke.
DJB said 1 year, so I'll try.
Yeah, but we had Davisuke for 1 year, and he struggled, didn't he, when he was playing?
Yeah, he did struggle big time. He struggled big time.
Yeah, absolutely. But Lewandowski, he's different, man. The movements,
your
legs might go. This don't go though.
Yeah, but is it Lewandowski the player now, or is it Lewandowski the player he was?
It is the player he was, because even at Barcelona, I know he's done well. He's not the Lewandowski we all think when he's at Dortmund and Bayern and all that.
And that's in a slower league, and you're asked to come.
Oh, he's 40. Yeah, nah. He's 40. He's 40,
is he?
If he's genuinely 40, I thought he was a lot younger than that.
Yeah. Well, that's it then. I'm not taking him.
Man, that's mad. No, he's 37. He's 37. He's 37.
37. I don't know. You know, he's going to score goals, isn't he?
I don't know, man.
If I was Lewandowski, I'll get myself over to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, go get the money. Because if you got them guys, they ain't got legs. So the other 9 outfield players, you have to do everything, innit? Like
we haven't mentioned Portugal in this World Cup, you know. Bruno's got
Roberto Martinez. They're not serious, man.
Well, the thing with Portugal is that Portugal are a fantastic team, and when they get it right, they get it right. But even when they won the Euros in 2016, again, it Ronaldo was a standout player, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm still stunned to this day how France let that go, because France have a really good record.
There's Koscielny in defence, man. He bottles it all the time.
Yeah, but you know what it is, though, man. There's some really good teams, but when I talk about tournament teams, Portugal are not a tournament team, and that they'll find a way to F it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting World Cup. It's going to be an interesting Champions League final first, though. I know that.
I don't want to think about that until next week. We need to bask in this Champions League glory.
Are we going to be doing anything next week?
100%. Come on, man. 100%.
What's it going to be? Is it going to be a Champions League special?
Champions League special, whatever the hell happens from now till then, and wherever we take it, because you know it's somehow we talk about everything here, innit?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think so. I think what's happened, right, is that,
and then we're gonna win the champs, and then Kenny and DJB be doing this. Come on, if we win the champs, you gotta do this. Come on, if we win the Champions League.
No, not at all, because win it again.
I was unconsolable last night. I was unconsolable last night. We had a mad stream for 4.5 hours. If we win the champs, because everyone knows I want the champs more than anything. Facts. If we win the champs, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk. I'll be going mental if we win the Champions League. Absolutely.
Oh my days, man. Oh my days. All right, people, we got to wrap this up though, man, because DJB and Kenny Ken, they got things to do in it.
It's been brilliant, guys.
It's always a pleasure having you lot on this platform. We are the Premier League champions, which I don't want anyone else to forget. What have you lot got to come out? Where can people find both of you, man?
Arsenal Huddle. I've got doing a championship mingle. DJB the Arsenal Huddle. I'm doing a champions mingle tonight. Kenny, tomorrow I'm busy. I don't know I'm going to get back in time.
That's all right, that's Paul.
So I might not be able to do my extra time show with the one and only Kenny. It's our extra time show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm on tonight. So all good. Next week I'm sort of in and out. I'm a bit busy next week because it's half term and it's holidays, so I've got things going on. It's been a long season, and I'm just glad that it's not gone to the final game because
trust me,
I'm
so glad we haven't got to do the business on Sunday. I'm so glad.
You know what?
Only game we can chill.
You know what the situation is. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be quite. A lot of us went there with the intention of, you know what, we built ourselves for it to go to the final game. But I'll tell you one thing. What I saw yesterday, I'm relieved, and you know we've got to
What I
think about
saw
it.
at the Emirates, ridiculous, man. I didn't want to come home.
You know what the situation is, man. You know I'm really pleased because a lot of those guys who went to the Emirates, some of them don't get to watch us play, don't get to tickets, but they still support the clubs passionately.
Exactly.
And to
That's
see
what I like.
For them to be there and they get to see him right and touch him, be there with them. You know, it's their triumph as well because only 60,000 can get in that stadium. Only 3,000 go.
And we had 100,000 people there yesterday.
And,
you know how that
wait for the parade. Wait for the parade. Kenny, we're going to have to sort the parade meet up, mate, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Well, my mate of mine, my friend of mine still wants me to play for his five-a-side team in goal. And
you're a goalie, Kenny.
Yeah, I could play in goal.
Kenny the cat. Kenny the cat.
Yeah,
Kenny's a goalie.
The thing about it, right? I feel.
He fills the goal up. You can't see it. You're taking a penalty against him.
Yeah, no one can score against him. He's bigger than the goal, mate.
Yeah, but as I said before, right? If I go and play for him, I'm going to be so gutted that I ain't at the parade. And if I get to the parade,
you're picking five-a-side. Oh, you're considering a parade over five-a-side, huh?
We're considering five-a-side over a parade, or what do you mean?
Kenny, what's going on? Wait, did you say you're going five-a-side? If you go to the five-a-side, you can't go to the parade?
No, because the five-a-sides is an all-day tournament. The parade's at 2:00.
Right.
Kenny, it's been 22 years. You're going to have to tell your friend, fuck that. I'm sorry, my guy.
You know where the tournament is? The tournament's in Ruislip. I know. And they need a goalkeeper because he's short of a goalkeeper. And I'm thinking...
And you need to be at the parade for 22 years of hurt. You're a season ticket holder.
I know.
Fuck the five-a-side.
I know
where you're coming from with a parade, though, Kenny, because we've been to so many now, and you get there, it's crushing, it's mobbed, it's packed, and I know, and I know what you're saying, and it goes past, and you don't really see it, and I know.
No. You don't worry about whether you're seeing the players or not. You just want to be there.
You just want to
be there. No, man, fuck that five-a-side, man.
And you want to be there, and you want to.
Kenny's loyal, though. Kenny's loyal. If his friends need him,
Yeah, but the thing about it is that I want to be. I want to be at this parade. I really want to be at the parade. I want to play the football, but I've never. I didn't enjoy 2022. I went to the parade in 2004 and I had some good memories, but I thought it was going to happen every year. Yeah. So I didn't celebrate enough, and now this time I can't let this go because you may never get that. But these are memories for life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Enjoy.
Fuck the five-a-side, bro. You can play five-a-side the week after. We can't guarantee we're going to win the Premier League. So again, like as much as I hope so. Well,
one thing I know I'm definitely doing is because I couldn't get a ticket. I'm definitely going to be watching it on the big screen. So that's a definite.
See? So fuck the five-a-side. Come to the parade, man. I'll link you lot there. People, we're going to wrap this up because DJB and Kenny got
everyone.
To do, man.
Absolutely brilliant. Enjoy. Come on, you Gunners. Arsenal.
Appreciate you two every time. We got to remind them we are the Premier League champions. Hopefully it's the first of many. Hopefully next week we win the Champions League. Make sure you're following DJB. Make sure you're following Kenny Ken on Instagram. Make sure you lot are staying safe because without you lot in the chat, it'd be dead. People, we're out. Mandem next week. In a bit.
Big up, everyone.
Big up, everyone. And we're the champions.
Come on, champions. And next, hopefully,